Okay, we are finally moving on to C. Call lightning. Third level conjuration, cast time of 1 action, range of 120 feet, components verbal, somatic, duration, concentration, up to 10 minutes. A storm cloud appears in the shape of a cylinder that is 10 feet tall with a 60-foot radius centered on a point you can see, 100 feet directly above you. The spell fails if you can't see a point in the air where the storm cloud could appear, for example if you were in a room that can accommodate a cloud. When you cast the spell, choose a point you can see within range, a bolt of lightning flashes down from the cloud to that point. Each creature within the 5 feet of that point must make a dexterity saving throw. A creature takes 3d10 lightning damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one. On each of your turns until the spell ends, you can use your action, I forgot about that, to call down lightning in this way again, targeting the same point or a different one. If you are outdoors in stormy conditions, when you can cast a spell, the spell gives you control over the existing storm instead of creating a new one. Under such conditions, the spell's damage increases by 1d10. That's interesting, we don't have too many environmental bonuses. At higher levels, when you cast this spell using a spell slot of 4th level or higher, the damage increases by 1d10 for each slot above 3rd. So, last time this had been cast in my games, had thought this was a bonus action after the initial casting. The initial casting's an action, and I thought it was a bonus action to call down lightning, though it's an action. Though, this does last for 10 minutes. 3d10 each round for 10 minutes. That's 300 d10. And that's not just divided in half from a save. I mean, it can be theoretically, but if they save everything, that's a save each time. Not to mention if you're casting this in a storm, right, we're going to talk about that as well. The environmental effect, that if you cast this in an already existing storm, you instead gain control over it, and it increases the damage by 1d10. The equivalent of upcasting it by another spell slot. Stats-wise, I mean, yeah, if there's already a storm, it'd be amazing to have this. 2, that's super dope. Why don't other spells have this? Like certain ice spells and a blizzard. Other lightning spell, I don't even remember other lightning spells doing something similar. I don't know, you might be able to do something with that. This is the only spell I can at least remember something like that being, where there's an environmental effect that changes it. Not in the sense of like, yeah, there's plenty of stuff like fire and water, but actually buffing or changing some of the mechanics of the spell. Well, like, combat-wise, or like, a brief combat-wise, 3d10 is pretty decent. To have that up and then going by using an action, that hurts action economy a little bit, but it's something that is going on for 10 minutes to where you can say, like, oh, well, this other burst spell I did, or trying to attack with this weapon, that's more worth it now, or the lightning bolt. It's just another option in your arsenal within this area. Concentration kind of hurts that idea, though. Still not the worst. But as like a long-term stay away, or I'm just going to electrocute this village or this army encampment, just start picking tents. Then it's really good. That's 300 d10 at base level to dish out, and that's without another storm, and that's without upcasting. No, not the worst, but then again, if we're talking middle of combat stuff, it's not the best in that regard. There's other things that you should or would potentially be holding concentration on. If you're going for a theme lightning-wise, though, this is definitely a spell to pick up, because it's not that bad, especially if, again, already in a storm or upcasting it slightly. 40-10 on an action as an option. Think of it as like an option for 10 minutes. Even if you have better burst spells, the fact this is just now like, oh, I have this as an option on my turn for the next 10 minutes within this fight. The room restriction makes sense, which also limits it a bit. God, I'm thinking of the rating and just that one feature where it buffs it by a d10 if there's already a storm. And it's already up to 300 d10. 6 out of 10. We're just gonna go with the fact that's a bit nicher. Just the room, still some better things to do. It's an action instead of a bonus action. Yeah, 6 out of 10.